I have an abandoned theme park in my backyard. Sort of. Let me clarify. I used to live not far from this abandoned theme park when I was a kid growing up. I've since moved, but I'm still pretty close to this abandoned theme park, so I'm going to put a little asterisk saying that, it's close enough to being in my backyard. Welcome to the original location of Enchanted Forest. Fans of this channel know I've brought up this park a couple of times in the past. I've explored the ruins of it a couple years ago with Adam the Woo.
There is an actual structure still remaining. Whoa! Did you hear that? Did you hear that noise? Holy cow, what is that? Dude, there's something in there.
But I want to take a look into some of the history surrounding this park, as well as the fascinating story behind the resurrection of it. Now that Maryland has become the state where theme parks go to die, I thought it was important to look back at the first original defunct abandoned theme park.
Well, as a child growing up in Howard County, I, like every other child in Howard County, went to the Enchanted Forest as a child. Well, it was just the place to go in actually the whole Mid-Atlantic region. It was a very special place because it was built for children, and the children knew that. They recognized that and appreciated that.
Now, the only thing that really remains at this location is the statue of Old King Cole, which sits above the Safeway shopping center placard here. So this is where the front entrance used to be. Now it's just a giant empty nothing. My car is illegally parked there, but just don't pay attention to that. Don't worry about that. This is a little plaque kind of commemorating where the theme park used to be and giving a little bit of insight on what it was all about. The Enchanted Forest was integrated from the day it opened, and the Harrison family never waived its commitment to serve all families who wanted to visit the park. In the first 30 days following the grand opening, the park welcomed approximately 100,000 visitors. The Enchanted Forest officially opened on August 15th, 1955, 1 month after Disneyland in California. Appealing mostly to families with small children, the park had a nursery rhyme theme. The park featured fairy tale buildings and characters, but no mechanical rides originally. Track rides were added later, including the Alice in Wonderland ride with the teacup-shaped cars, a Cinderella's castle ride with mice for the cars, the little toot boat that took children to the Mount of Vesuvius for giant slides, and the Jungle Land Safari, which was driven by an open Land Rover type vehicles. It's kind of like the safari at Animal Kingdom in Disney World. You know what? Hey, it happened here first. Just want to point that out. Children's parties were often held in the picnic areas among the attractions. Admission cost $1 for adults and 50 cents for children. The park expanded from 20 acres to 52 acres. At its peak, the Enchanted Forest welcomed 300,000 children per summer season. After its original owners, the Harris family, sold the park for $4.5 million to JHP Development in 1988. The park closed for the first time in 1989.
It is long past mid-May when a Howard County amusement park usually opens its gates for young children and their parents. But the doors never opened, and the residents have been wondering if the Enchanted Forest was going to be closed for good. Well, tonight, Richard Scher reports that the park's owners are making improvements and hope to hang out the open sign soon.
There's a lot of work going on out at the 40-year-old Enchanted Forest in Ellicott City. TriStar Management has owned the park since 1987. Since then, they've been hit by 3 arson fires and a lot of vandalism, including the theft of many of their concrete gingerbread men. Still, company president Jack Pector is committed to keeping the forest open, but with a new operator.
It's hard to run a park, and that's why we want somebody who has that experience of running a small park.
TriStar is adding bathroom facilities and making other improvements, which are taking time.
We are totally committed to, ever since 1991, we have been spending money to repair the buildings and the characters.
And there are new agreements with the county. No lights after 9 o'clock and no noisy mechanical rides.
We're committed to adhere to the covenants, and we're committed to be a good citizen of Howard County.
I would like them to reopen it for two reasons. One, we can go back on the rides, and two, kids will have another place to go if they're bored during the summer.
Sad it's not what it once was, but a lot of the park is still here. We've renovated a lot of the buildings, and I feel that someone can make it special for young children once again.
So TriStar Management continues to interview prospective operators for the Enchanted Forest, and they're hoping that they will be able to come to an agreement with one within the next 30 days.
The park was permanently shuttered from 1995 to 2005 when active preservation began. Much of the theme park sat undisturbed yet neglected behind a chain link fence.
Welcome, for the very final time, to the Enchanted Forest in Ellicott City. It is being, as we speak, being demolished, I'm sorry to say. So I'm out here for final photography. It's going to be gone this time next week. So, say your final goodbyes now. Now is the time. We're going in. This is the gingerbread house where they held parties. Not much left, and oh, that's new. Sorry, this is really depressing to me. There's even more damage than there was here a few weeks back. This used to be so pretty till people, you know, I mean, I don't mind graffiti, but on this, it kind of bugged me. This is the castle. Oh my god, it's been spray painted with the number 2. That's going first. Oh, my castle. I'm sorry, guys. This castle means a hell of a lot to me, and the entrance to the castle. Here we go. Final time in the castle. Whoa. This is where the top portion of the castle was. My poor castle. There's the gingerbread house again. Sorry, I'm kind of sounding depressed. But yeah, I'm actually really devastated.
Some old stuff, water. There's not much left. The last remnants. There's more. Now, this used to be a pretty big castle. I even filmed a black and white movie back in here when I was in college. We did not have filming permits. Some castle stuff. That's all that's left. I used to sneak in all the time. Back when I was a kid, I'd get into all kinds of trouble. But yeah, this fence used to not be here. It was just kind of an old wooden crickety fence you could get around, as well as you could kind of sneak around the back sides of some of these buildings, which didn't really have much of a fence, and then just waltz right in. As you can see, they've now updated and fortified the fences over here, so it's not as easy to get in anymore. But there's still a couple little spots you can wiggle your way on through. And as of 2025, only a few piles of rubble remain scattered throughout the property. Mother Nature is slowly taking back over the land, and most kids no longer seem interested in trespassing or urban exploring here. The slide over the small body of water kind of remains too. That was pretty much the only thing somewhat left intact, I guess you could say. And here I am at the very end here, almost getting hit by the drone as it comes back in for a landing. And luckily, some of this theme park was immortalized in the 1990 John Waters film Cry Baby. It's an odd film. It's it's definitely very, you could tell it was filmed in Baltimore and throughout Maryland, that's for sure. Not just the locations, but the overall kind of tone and feel of the movie, I would say it's very Baltimore. Yeah, it starred, Johnny Depp, as well as Iggy Pop, Tracy Lords, Ricky Lake, and one of my favorites, Susan Terrell. There's a scene at the end showing off the entrance of the park, as there's like a dance number on the Cinderella Castle, and like Iggy Pop in a bunny costume rescues the main love interest of Johnny Depp. I don't know, I haven't seen it in like forever. It's got some music and stuff in it. It's a John Waters film.
Here, these are the ones we want.
A double header.
Oh, they're adorable. We'll take some.
But that's not where this story ends. Oh no. You thought it was just going to be in like an abandoned park and left to rot away like Six Flags America. No. There's a little bit more to this story.
This farm's been in my family since the 1930s, and we have been farming in Howard County since 1797. There was an article in the paper in 2004, about a couple of years after we opened up the petting farm, and in the article it talked about the pumpkin coach being sold at a charity auction, and the people who bought it weren't quite sure what they were going to do with it and thought that it should be available to lots and lots of people. So I called them up and suggested that my place would be a great place for it, and in the end I ended up getting it here, and that's how it all began. Yeah, no, the pieces that we brought over first were definitely in better shape than the ones we brought over later. But we brought over everything, whether it was, in good shape or not. And once we got it here, made all the repairs.
In 2003, the Enchanted Forest Preservation Society was formed with a long-term goal of reviving the Enchanted Forest. Their work focused on preventing the artifacts from being lost forever. The current owner of the land, Kimco Realty Group, agreed in 2004 to allow most of the Fairytale structures and figures to be moved to nearby Clark's Ellicott Farm for display and preservation. Now you'll notice the original castle entrance with the dragon and the sign that says Enchanted Forest, no longer there, okay? That's because it was moved to Clark's Ellicott Farm. And they even kind of made a duplicate replica of it for the entrance of the farm itself. Unfortunately, like I showed you before, the Cinderella Castle and the Gingerbread House were demolished. But a lot of the park's original statues and figures and structures were saved, moved, and restored. I'm a really big fan of what this farm was able to do and what Martha Clark, the owner of the property, was able to do. And that's, give some life, some extra life to these, nice little fairy tale structures, this park that it meant a lot to some people. Yeah, it's just for little kids and stuff like that. But still, I like the fact that all of the things in the park, the original park, were hand built by local workers and artisans and people in the community. They even have a fancy little book here. It's got all kinds of really cool making of and interviews and behind the scenes photos, making of how they made these things. It's a lot of just chicken wire and cement, I would say. But you know, it had a unique look. It had a very unique look that you're not going to see anywhere else throughout the country, right? And also that king is like a roadside attraction, which we're kind of losing a lot of in this country. These silly, over the top, somewhat corny, but still things with a lot of character and personality. We're losing those structures throughout this country. So that's cool to see that king is still there. This is what I really like. You're able to reuse, restore, and preserve in a way some of these things that the people made. It's not just left to decay and be forgotten about. Something is being done with these things. It's not just being forgotten and thrown away. And this is where it gets even crazier. I was kind of doing some research on abandoned theme parks, state by state, going through Maryland, and I was surprised to learn that there are several abandoned and defunct theme parks in my state, as well as a lot of other parks throughout the whole country. Each state has a variety of old defunct things that I think I would like to explore. So this is just the beginning. The closing of Six Flags America has opened up a whole new door for us. A whole new door I was not prepared for, but here we are. Maybe the closing of Six Flags America was the best thing that ever happened to me. Shouldn't say that. I miss that theme park a lot. I miss that stupid, silly theme park that I had no intentions of falling in love with. Yet here I am, still talking about it, several weeks after it is closed forever. But let's go find more abandoned and defunct theme parks.